My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Arakia Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. And welcome back to the same as we continue on as the Anduin. We are on episode number 23, I believe. As you can see, we are absolutely stuffing Angmar all across the north here. Gundobad is basically now defeated. Their only hold is Erebor. And I think, as we may have actually learnt, I think Erebor may have been reclaimed and the Snowwalks may have actually been completely kicked out. But they're not dead yet, if memory serves. Oh, no, they are. I think they are. I think they may actually be fully dead. So Erebor may well have been reclaimed. Because they go out of this list when they die. And indeed, yes. So the Gundobad are completely gone. So Angmar is now our only threat. You'll note that our faction leader, Lord Britta, continues the fight over here in Carn Dûm, where, as before, there's a little bug that's showing, making Carn Dûm not show up. But it is there, and it will work when we attack it. We've recently taken Mount Graham, but a reactionary force led by Wuskfreyr, who initially was heading south to join in Sauron's invasion of Lothlorien, which has fallen to Mordor by the looks of it. He is now freed up of that charge, and so he's now free to attack us up here. So we've had to muster an army quite quickly in Mount Gleerwine, and we're about to end the turn and see if he's going to attack us or not. Our diplomat is heading, for some reason, down here. Ah, yes, because we are actually rapidly closing in on our victory conditions. A brief recap for you all. We need 30 regions, and we hold 17. So we've got 13 more to get, which will not be difficult to obtain. And we need to hold Bjorn's Halls, which we do, Amun Lank, which we do, Khazad-dûm West, which we don't, and Mount Gleerwine, which of course we do. Dol Guldur need to die, Moria and Gundobad. Gundobad are dead. Dol Guldur are on their last life as the elves now flood south down the eastern side of the forest. The elves seem to have reclaimed the reaches of Mirkwood, although I think that might have happened in the last episode. But Dol Guldur will soon be not long of this world, which is good. So we're sending Radagast down to the mines of Moria to see if there's any hope for us to be able to snaffle those up. We have an army here leading an army of essentially... It is an army of almost full trash. There are only 3 non-trash units, or 4, sorry, the Yaxmen sneaking in there. They're heading off to Mordat Tarth. We are going to descend upon Angmar like a great storm. We have burst forth from Fastred's Peak with armies that Angmar cannot hope to match, nor indeed counter. And it is only a matter of time before Angmar go down. But interestingly, Angmar are not one of our requirements for victory. So whether we defeat them or not doesn't really matter. But we will defeat them because, of course, they are in our way. Oh, you've got a little army as well, and you are heading north indeed, so off you go. Oh, was I waiting because you had troops from Bjorn's Halls? I was. But that's all right, we can head up there and come back and pick them up. That's not a problem. The last episode of this one, of course, was live streamed to you all and has done very well thereafter in views. And the live streaming, if I may ruminate on it for a moment while the end turn passes, is going remarkably well. I never expected it to do as well as it has done. But this past weekend, now, I'll say the number and then give my thoughts. This past weekend, we maxed out at 569 concurrent viewers, which was absolutely incredible. But I would temper that joy with the knowledge that, of course, the last live stream was on Enid Wythe, and Enid Wythe are completely new, and their changes are just now being shown off. So I think a large chunk of it will have been people coming to see Enid Wythe in a live situation whereby they can then ask questions and have those answered whilst they are watching, which is possibly quite good. So it'll be interesting to see this weekend when, again, at 11 o'clock in the morning GMT on this coming Saturday, I will live stream the 3rd Anduin episode this week. We'll see if those numbers are matched again. But I don't think they will be, if I'm honest, because Anduin is not as new as Enid Wythe. And we're drawing near, really, to Anduin's conclusion. We're still probably a good 50 turns away, which I should imagine equates to around about 6 to 7 hours, I should have thought, of playtime. So they're not going to be... it's not going to be closing anytime soon, or finishing anytime soon. But it is certainly in that we've reached the point where the campaign now is... We are a strong, powerful nation. Few will be able to actually stand against us. Oh, look, we can get an apothecary. And it is now just a case of showing off all of our late game stuff so that we can see it all in action. I'm particularly keen to get Fram's Guard out because I think they will be cool. And I also would love from Bjorn's Halls to get the Bear Warriors into the fray. The Bear Warriors are monsters of combat, and they really help Anduin's late game feel like you are a powerhouse. Now, interestingly, Wuskfreyr is going back And I wonder if that's because he has quite a powerful army. And I presume he's going to go back to try and save Carn Dûm. So what we can do is then muster an army. Although at the moment, we make plenty of money. So we can pull this entire army out. We'll leave behind the 2 garrison forces. But then we just want to dog his steps, really. We do not want to let him move forward without the knowledge that he is being followed, and at any turn we can drop the anvil upon his head. The sword of Damocles will fall and take all that he loves dear with him. There are 61 Aethead archers in there. We'll take those. And you're not going to be retraining those horsemen anytime soon, so send those back to Framsberg. Do we have military access with the dwarves? I don't think we do. They're not going to like what I've just done there. Not one jot. We spoke with the elves on our way through, and we now find ourselves at the Goblin capital. Oh, do you want a ceasefire? Generous. Map info, trade rights. You can give me... How much money have you got? Poor. What about 5k for this generous ceasefire? Oh, they're off a ceasefire. Trade rights will give 5,000, and they'd want my map information. Go on them. That's a lot of money for a ceasefire, isn't it? So does that mean that you've lost the Western Peaks? Ah, no, you still hold the Western Peaks, but it's no longer your capital. That's interesting to note. But we'll chuck a ceasefire in there, and we'll worry about them later on. Or you might as well go and besiege those people in that fort. Captain Grim here, he's the only person in the fort. Oh no, the captain was ours, sorry. Angrim infantry, Angrim archers, and some ballast crew. 10 turns Carn Dûm will stand for. We'll give it at least another 1, if not 2 turns before we make our judgment as to whether or not we'll assault the castle walls. We also do need to finish Dol Guldur. I don't think we can actually rely on the elves to do this, particularly now that we have Brown Boat and they do not. Do I have a second diplomat? No. I was going to say, I'd be quite tempted to actually give them Brown Boat so that we can have someone else deal with Dol Guldur and them not become our problem. We'll keep that spy in Dor Norhak just so that we can see what's going on there. Where's the other one? In the Ettenmoors. Oh, you're not really doing anything. And I don't really need you up here, actually. I think I would rather send you back to Dol Guldur. Kuorn. Well, no, you never know, do you? Go down there and see what's going on here. This is held by Khazad Dûm. So the uplands is the end in the trail there. So Treowain will more than be able to deal with Morvatarth. And then Angmar entirely comes at us from our western side. So send the turn again. The end turn times at the start of the game are so much quicker than they are now at the 93 turn point, and that's very disappointing to me. Playing through as Zenith Wythe is a dream. The turns are back to being like 20-ish seconds, but here now in the later stages they do creep up to about 30 seconds or so. You would think that less factions in the game, well, 1 less faction to be precise, would make it easier, but actually as nations start to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, the game is thinking about so much more, and many things are taking place in the turns, in the fog of war, oft in the shadow. As you saw in the Enedwythe live stream, we're having some sort of odd crashes related to Gundabad and Onazanar. We've also, from the beta testers, had indication that the crashes may also relate to Framsberg. So there's something fishy going on with Gundabad when it captures towns. So we need to look into that because it's giving us an annoying crash. But that is off-screen stuff. For now, we deal with Angmar. Treowain is attacked by Captain Garnok, coming in from our northeastern side. He doesn't have anything to really worry about, but he has got landsmen, who are quite a good unit, and they throw axes if memory serves. Yes, they do. Morholt the Hillman is trapped in there with snow trolls. Ooh, Morholt is one of their starting generals. He comes with Huskals. He's quite a good unit. But that's a very small army. Are you their leader by any chance? No, I don't think you are. But Garnok is, of course, taking our attention. You can see from the screen below me that we have an army, as I've already discussed, of complete trash, and so we need to keep the enemy at bay. We must use the archers. If they do get up close and personal, we won't be able to deal with them very well. But we have got 4 melee units to at least hold the enemy back. And that is what we shall do. Let them come, and we will shoot them down as they get closer and closer and end them. Now something that I triumphantly and confidently stated in the last Enedwythe live stream as well was that I cannot tilt the camera with the up and down keys, the plus and minus key. And what I have since, of course, learnt through comments again on YouTube is that is because I am using the RTS camera setting in the main menu. If I changed it to the Total War camera setting, then I can tilt the camera with the plus and the minus on the number pad. But it stops the zoom being like this, and instead it zooms purely straight up and straight down. It just goes completely vertically. It doesn't do it on a sort of sloping inward scroll like that. And I much prefer this setup, if I'm honest, over the ability to tilt it. Right, we are being attacked from both corners, so Morholt is going to come in from over here, and he's bringing snow trolls, and I'm not that interested in getting close and personal to them because we need space to deal with the trolls. So I think we might pull to this edge. It's not much of a hill. There's a bit of a hill. There's a bit of a hill there. We'll pull to there. We're going to be camping on the edge of the map, sadly, but we do that plenty, so it's nothing new, is it? Now, we've only got 3 melee units, 4 including our general, but we don't really want to get him involved unless we absolutely must. But yeah, there we are. Morholt's coming in over there, and there's the main bulk of the enemy over there. So, archers, let's do you a bit more sort of bespoke than we usually would. No, what I want is 4 banks to line like that, so that those trolls can be completely dealt with. So we'll do 2 lines for the arrows. It's nice to see. Right, and defensive units. Let's put the Bjorning Spearmen. They don't really have any cav, do they? I think it's probably better to go with Valesmen, to be honest, because they're going to die. Whoever takes on the snow trolls will die. That much is certain. So if we send a unit that matters the least out to die, then I think that's probably the best course of action. And general over there. Right, we've got the cav. Can we send you out to go and harass the enemy? Yes, absolutely noodly. Why are you running away? You attack me. Come and attack me. Right, there we are. They've turned around. They changed their mind. They don't have any cav, so we don't have to worry about cav superiority or anything like that. But they've got siege, but we can deal with the siege in a single charge. Oh, we lost a few. 4. We lost 4. But that's the Ballister crew completely taken out of the game. So kill all of those, please. Do not let them escape. Because they'll only come back and use the... What? The enemy general was the Ballister crew. Are you... Why would you make the Ballister crew the general? That's weird. The game never does that. It usually always chooses an actual infantry unit. Ah, that's interesting. The trolls are coming for the cavalry. Go on, give them a volley. Javelins are far and away one of the best methods of dealing with trolls. So if you can get a couple of shots off, don't... See, what is that? Why are you skirmishing together? Run away from the trolls! What are you doing? Absolute morons. Absolute morons. Anyway, they've used up all of their javelins, so let's get them back into the fray. If we can keep the snow trolls away for a while, that'd be fantastic. And look, one of them's already fallen. Javelin to the eye, they didn't like that. Snow trolls are cool. They're such a rare unit, really, but they are such an improvement over the usual troll. Although, when you start getting into the realm of monsters like snow trolls and balrogs and Sauron and the like... Oh, come on, just run away. When you start getting into the realm of monsters, the textures of the game start to really show their age. And there's very little that can be done about that, sadly. But I think those snow trolls are a prime example of that. Ah, the enemy had Rudauer Landsmen and Orc Hunters, but they have both run away. The captain has not inspired any courage in his men, and of course his early death will not have helped either. So the army led by Captain Garnok, was he called? They are already undecided, as if they wish to stay and fight here. And those savages are Morholt the Hillman himself. So we can try and shut down as many of those as possible. But unfortunately, rather annoyingly, the snow trolls are now coming from the other side. We've taken a right pounding melee-wise to many of our units there. Get them out. Right, cavalry, cavalry, cavalry. Go and hit those Angmar infantry, just mop those up. You guys can kill those Angmar missiles over there. Oh, they're interested in getting our general, so come in and hit these in the back. Killed a few. Pull out quickly, pull out. Ah, the Rudauer savages are fleeing. Capture those if you can. Stand your ground. Let the cav take the savages. I don't think our archers got any shots on those snow trolls at all. The snow trolls are pretty much the only thing still fighting now. But they will take so many of us down. I do not care at all if you kill some of our men. Just every arrow you've got, unleash on those trolls. They really are. They've unleashed basically everything and it's not having any effect. Oh, there's a captain over here somewhere. Oh no, of course the Huskarls were Morholt the Hillman. And he has died. His single Huskarl battalion is all that remains of his pathetic army. Alright, they're coming for the general. They're coming for the general. Go on, Valesman. Oh dear, they just got massacred. Oh, holy sugar plum fairies. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out! Trolls are so annoying to deal with on the battlefield. But interestingly, trolls, unlike great beasts, don't have a massive impact on auto-resolve because they are just considered infantry. So even though they have insane stats, the game doesn't treat them like elephants. And the game, as we've already discovered, gives huge buffs to elephant units for seemingly no reason at all. Alright, Cav. Nice. As the trolls start to get weary from battle, their numbers dwindle, and the cavalry charges with the extra damage you do from the charge. You do actually take quite a few down. Yes, only one remains. And we didn't do too badly. The general didn't die. That's all that matters, of course, as you all know. Generals replenish, so as long as the actual general didn't die, it doesn't matter.
Let all who remember this day
Fantastic victory.
remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
Interestingly, one Aethed horseman, 147, and the other, 18. One of them really pulling their weight there, considering they lost about the same number. But then that 18 may have been, 8 of those might have been all of those snow trolls, for all we know, which is infinitely better than the 147 that they took. But the second place in raw numbers was 117 Vale Archers, and then 114 Vale Archers again. So archers and cavalry, once again, always leading the way. Using the cavalry in that charge formation and charge method there is much what has been intended. Is very similar, sorry to use real English, it's very similar to what has been intended with the unique Burgundian unit from Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition's latest DLC, the Coustilier, which is, as I understand it, how you pronounce that, although every single YouTube channel I've watched so far has pronounced it Coustilier. But I'm fairly certain that in the French it would be Coustilier. Anyway, I was quite disappointed to see Spirit of the Law call it a Coustilier because he's Canadian. And to our minds over here, people who haven't visited Canada, a large proportion of them speak French. So you would think that even if he can't speak it, he'd at least have a basic understanding of the pronunciation. But apparently not, which I was disappointed to learn. Of course, I could be pronouncing Coustilier wrong, but I'm quite confident that it is pronounced Ilie at the end and not Ilia. Anyway, that's all by the by. I'm thoroughly enjoying Age of Empires with the release of the DLC, and it's been a nice distraction. A suitable husband, betrothed Dagna. I don't know who Dagna is, but we're at the point where we can do with Anorian's under attack, Fornost is under attack. We're at the point where we could do with governors. Leave them in places and be on our merry way. Alright, Morvatarth has fallen to our command. Just wanted to actually see Cameth Bryn. Let's bring the spy around to make sure there's no one hiding over there. No. So the army can move out almost immediately because we massacred everyone. Leave the Vales. No, don't leave the Vales. We're going to have to leave archers, I'm afraid. Leave 100 archers and the 26 cav that we can't do anything with. Everyone inside of Morvatarth has paid in blood. And those that remain will be put to work for the much gentler and kinder overlords they now found themselves toiling beneath. We are here to free the men and women of Angmar from the grip and grasp of Sauron and his lackey, Agandar. Oh, we can recruit in Dane's halls. Ha-ha! Huzzah! We can finally get free upkeep. That's good. Amunlank built a muster ground as well, so again, free upkeep, and I'm sure you have a fantastic free upkeep. 3 from the Citadel, none from the castle, sadly, but 5 from the Royal Anorian Hall, so let's get both of those up. That's something that needs to change. We need to give that a more generic name now that the Forces. We'll go Bjorn in camp here again, so we get defensive units. Now that the wild men all get these upper tiers, the names of a lot of the buildings need to be simplified, so that they don't have a... Oh no, they don't need to worry about that, because we're going to change. We're going to change the cultures of some of the factions, and particularly we are going to change all the wild men to be Northmen culture, so they will lose this wild men UI down the bottom that you see here. Otherwise, though, that's about all that would change. Lots of their buildings will actually just then go over to the Northman style. And instead, we're going to use the Mesoamerican culture specifically for the Northern Dunedain so that we can give the most weight as possible, as much weight as possible, to them being a unique feature with their reunited kingdom.
Your orders, my lord.
So the Northern Dunedain would have a bespoke UI that was a kind of a mix between Rangers and Arnor, because that obviously is the purpose. And it will then allow us to do... all of their buildings will be completely unique in name to them, and things along those lines. It's just that it is a large administrative undertaking to change them, to change all the cultures around. So it's not potential to cause any like major crashes, but it is the potential to cause annoying immersion breaking bugs, like buildings having wrong UI and things like that. But that, of course, is only if we don't give it the full attention that it should be given, and I'm sure absolutely that we will. Right, we don't need two generals here, but we might as well leave one of you behind because neither of you are tested in battle. Meithelberg needs a governor, so you head over there and you'll stay behind. I'd rather take Trash as the garrison, so we'll take both of those out, and you guys run north as well. No, actually, do we want to run you north? No, I think we will run north for now, and then once Amun Lank starts getting up 67% already, fantastic. Once Amun Lank is actually fairly useful to us, this can be our hub for recruitment, because we've established got a Royal Honorian Hall, which gives us 6 recruitment slots as a base. And once we get up to the 75% culture, we get the Sylvan March Wardens from here. But I do believe we've built the highest tier shrine, yes, so the culture change will take some time to complete. But we could definitely do with a general here. We could absolutely do with a general here, but I think the elves probably are struggling, because I don't think... Ah, it's King Legolas. Ah, that's a shame. That means Thranduil has died. I think we got a message when Thranduil died, actually, didn't we? Woodland Realm. We do not have military access with the Woodland Realm, so we need to get that set up so that the minute they will continue fighting Dol Guldur, because this region borders Dol Guldur, but they won't like walking through my lands to do that. So we'll just quickly discover Western Khazad-dûm, and then we'll pop Radagast over to either try and get movement, but if we can't do that, I'll just give them Brown Boat. Radagast. Oh, I haven't done the Show Cursor stat. Show Cursor stat. I am very, very excited for the release of Apex Legends Season 8, which releases today, if you're watching this on the day it comes out. Tuesday, the 2nd of February, Radagast 2021. I'm thoroughly looking forward to not playing Fuse, but instead having my entire arsenal be destroyed by his tactical, as I play as Rampart basically in every game. Right, I would just like to give you military access. There, fantastic. 5,600 gold for 3 turns to give me military access. Gods above me. Well, you guys are completely out of your minds. And interestingly, the Woodland Realm, me getting that agreement, has made Lothlorien like me. So that's bizarre. Anywho, did we end the turn yet? No, we didn't. Carn Dûm is now down to 9 turns. I think we should probably attack Carn Dûm just to get it done and dusted and out of the way. We've got a sizable army, but they are going to get a huge number of siege reinforcements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but we want to see what the battle map looks like, and we can replenish forces now in a day. So let's do it. And let's take them down before... There'll be a horde of forces coming from their western holds. Although we all have to now cross our fingers and hope that this does not crash. Because although the campaign strategy model being missing doesn't normally affect the battle map, no indeed, and there we are. And that campaign map missing thing is already fixed in our latest build anyway. It was just broken at the time of recording this. So this is Carn Dûm, very much inspired and based on Carn Dûm as seen from Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Rise of the Witch King, with 3 entrance points, as you can see, 3 causeways across the lake-like moat that sits outside. Once you break through the first layer, you then have to get up to this secondary layer, where once again there are 3 access points on the northern, southern, and western sides, making, of course, the westernmost side the fastest route to the centre. But you will note that it is then slightly offset, which I like an awful lot. So to get to the actual square, not only must you remember to bring a battering ram inside, because there is a second gate, but you can't just walk straight up, which is good. And then there's the square in the centre. It's a very, very defensible battle map. And a human player would have no trouble defending at Carn Dûm, whereas the AI will struggle. Do note that these buildings here are not towers, but these things are. Or the smaller ones are. The taller ones are just buildings, as you can see. Although so is that one, actually. Anyone that is described as a building will not shoot at you. Anything that is described as a tower will shoot at you. So you will note that the towers are mostly in the front central part. And then after that, they all turn to buildings. So you're not constantly bombarded with never-ending stream of fiery, furious death. Which is what you would be, of course, in truth. So, to be honest, they should all be towers. But I can understand why RK has held off on making them all towers, because it would be hellishly overpowered, and you'd never make it into this city. Right, you two have got the rams, so you're both going to have to go up front. And then we've got some fantastic units in the army today. Dwarven Sons of the Fallen stand with us, and you can instantly make out which ones they are, because they're the only ones that stand in perfectly regimented lines. Look at that. The carnage of the Bjorning Axemen and Woodman Warriors. Slightly more disciplined with the Sellswords, and then rigid battle formations for the Dwarves. The Sons of the Fallen. One of the best units in the game. And a unit that I just absolutely love. And that's probably because the units that I personally had a hand in writing the backstories of is something I'm sure Lord of Links is now experiencing as well. Because he also writes backstories and text for the mod now, which is nice. It means I don't have to do it all. When you personally write the backstory for a unit, you get very, very much attached to it. And it takes on an almost mythical quality in your mind. And you hate it when people edit it. But the Sons of the Fallen are one such unit. One of the first non-Candish units, I think, that I wrote a description for. And I'm going to read it to you, because why not? Self-aggrandization. The misty mountains hold a great sorrow for the dwarves, for it was in the halls of those high peaks that many of their brothers died in the ferocity of the war of the dwarves and orcs. This is one of the first things I wrote, so that's quite a lengthy sentence that could do with being reworded, in truth. Indeed, the final battle saw the death of a great number of dwarves, and any descendant of those who fell in that battle holds their head high, being the sire of a burned dwarf. In reverence to their honoured dead, dwarves from Eredluin and Erebor, newly settled in the mountains, have formed into ranks of formidable spearmen. Wearing the same armour of old and wielding mighty spears, they take to the battlefield in sturdy formations under the name Sons of the Fallen. These battle-hardened and hate-filled dwarves wear very heavy armour, and cost the lord who controls them a great deal. No sugar plums, Sherlock, they have 620 upkeep. They fight with a fury rarely seen in Middle-earth, and are perhaps the greatest warriors in the history of the dwarves, save for Azagal's warriors, who injured the great dragon Glaurung. They will see that the deaths of their fathers were not in vain. The orc filth will be destroyed once and for all. And not only that, but they look fantastic. I am a huge fan of any unit that bears the Roman horsehair central decoration. Does it have a specific name? Do they call that something? Or is it just called sort of horse, something horse related? Anyway, I really like their design, and they are such a cool unit, and they are so powerful. Once the gates are down, they will be going in first. Now, we do have to watch out here, because as you can see, we are getting shot with ballista towers, which means the rams will take actual damage. And if a ram is destroyed, we've only got a second, because I foolishly didn't queue up more than one. And if both rams go down, we are scuppered. There's nothing we can do, even if we break that gate, because we've got to get up to that gate. Now, are there towers after we make it through to the centre? Oh, it changes to can't see. These ones might be towers. Oh, no, that one's a building. No, I think the towers are just... Oh, yeah, look, that's a building. No, perfect. So once those first gates are down, if we can claim these towers by moving the enemy off, then we can push up and take the next line, which does not have any towers to shoot at us. Interestingly, the actual garrison, 2 of the actual troops are guarding the gate, whereas the Orc defenders are all relatively farther afield. Archers, once you are in position, don't worry about shooting just yet. Right, let's send melee troops down because we're going to need them. Definitely the Sons of the Fallen. Definitely the Sellswords because you're both our merc units. But otherwise, probably about it really. Send the Hobbits forward, ready to throw their stones. And our archers are ready. We're going to lose a lot of troops here today. Get that battering ram right under the towers so it can't get shot. Right, the Hobbits are here. The Sellswords and the Sons are moving up. Might as well move up all the other infantry as well. And the archers can't shoot at anything, save for the woodman trackers who are already loosing off over the walls of Carn Dûm. Away they go. This is such a good-looking battle map. Such a good-looking battle map. The only problem with this UI, though, is that you can't then remove the UI without having those black bars around the edge of the screen. And I just don't understand why the game has done that. So if you change to the minimal UI, it allows you to turn the UI completely off without bringing in the black bars. If you play on the bigger UI, which we are doing at the minute, you can't turn this bar off without having those 2 black lines come in. And I just don't understand it. Right, there are questions of late about how does one use shield wall formation, and you're about to get a first-hand lesson because we're going in. Bring forward the rest. Up you come, up you come. It's quite easy to position troops in this place. This is another settlement that has definitely been designed with movement and oh, look at that, that's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Glory be to the dwarves. They absolutely melt through those orcs, and then the slow trudge as they force their way through, and then everyone else charge in behind. Let's give them support, please, as the Sons of the Fallen break their lines through, and then we come out of that. We've lost quite a few of them, as I've discussed there. It doesn't matter how strong your unit is, when you go into shield wall, you take losses. But it has allowed us to punch directly through the middle there and get more troops into the sides of the gate. But we just need to break through this section, but we are taking a lot of losses. And it's going to take ages, because we've got to kill all of these units before we can even move off. And there is literally nothing I can do. It is now just a slog. But the Sons of the Fallen, now that they're actually fighting, have adopted the Circle of Death technique that they so often end up in, where they're flanked on all sides because they can push so far through to the enemy. But now they're actually fighting, the enemy just will not kill them. And we're trapping the enemy amongst themselves, which is good to see as well. Let's try and curl you round. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. What are we on? 15 plays 19. Most of our losses will be to the towers. You're going to come out of that archer group because you're going to run out of arrows before we even get into the enemy's base. Now that the Sons of the Fallen are actually fighting back, they've taken basically no losses. But it's surprising, no matter how strong your unit is, how many losses they take in shield wall formation. It really is a suicide charge for whoever adopts it, unfortunately. But the army coming up behind is doing well. And you guys you're on your ram, aren't you? You can dom back on yours because we're going to take both rams forward. And we're diverting their attention to the stores. Whilst the stores, of course, are fantastic, they are also a good arrow fodder unit because they're dirt cheap. I mean, they cost nothing. We have 100 of them and they cost 90 upkeep. That's just ridiculously cheap. So they're a good unit to kill off, if you will. Right, push through, because what I'd like to do now is try and get the archers into the castle. Got some dwarves in the army today. Right, I want you all to get in and then instantly turn right. Come here, come here. Yes. Don't get engaged with the enemy. You've all gotten engaged with the enemy. Fantastic. Right, you're all through, you're all through. Don't fire at will just yet. Have we won here yet? The last vestiges of the Iron Crown Long Swordmen continue on. Right, remember I foolishly did not turn off the timer, so we are up against it. We've got both battering rams in, so we're good for that. And we've killed now 34% of the enemy. So what stands before us? Let's go and have a look. So we're going to come up this way, naturally. Ah, the enemy is entirely pulling back. Oh, fantastic. So let's move you all over here. Just walk over there. Get the cav in. And we should probably bring the generals now that I think about it, actually. And then have you won at the gates yet? There's some Rudal landsmen over there. Let's start differentiating you. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come down off the wall. If they want to stay on the wall, we'll just bloody well let them stay on the wall. We're going to go to the town square. We'll take so many losses if we try and fight that. That was a bad decision. Dark blades are up on the wall there. Oh, the entire melee arm of our army is apparently climbing that wall to do those day of play. Fantastic. And we've got units routing. Keep those spears ready. They're taking on the dark blades. And almost certainly losing by the 1,000, I expect. Defenders on walls, for some reason, just have ridiculous advantages. I just do not understand it. They can just survive forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Oh, you ran away, but then you decided to come back. Come down off the walls if you can. I'm not really all that bothered about the walls, to be honest. I just need you to get through the enemy lines. Out more routing. Why are you all routing? Our general's here today. Alright. We didn't need the second ram in the end. Archers, come and stand here.
The battering ram is in place. It'll not be long before our
Run, please. You cowards, come and get up here. Even the hobbits are still fighting, and yet we've got these fools. Get the battering ram out of the way. There we are, that'll do. There we are, that'll do. Right, archers. You now have full fire authority. Unleash absolute hell down upon those units standing in that town centre, please. Oh, the Dark Blades have come to try and mess us up. Ah, the spears are here. Fantastic. Sons of the Fallen, Sellswords, you're going in. General, whose name I don't even know, you're going in as well. And then a lot of our army is just running away. Nothing we can do about that. Alas and alack. I don't really want to charge our army up this slope until we've shot as many arrows as we can at our enemy. But they've won. You might as well go in, I suppose. Up the ramp. Britta, you're going to. We can't afford to not use anyone. And the hobbits, you can come up behind, please. Get ready, we're going to move you up. I'd really like those Rudal landsmen to be targeted, please. Oh no, don't do that.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Right, so the whole army here. Charge up that hill, hit those. So that we can get the stores in. Come out of that. We got them.
They have lost half their men.
Remember that, of course, attacking this castle was absolutely foolhardy. And were I playing this campaign entirely for my own purposes, I never would have assaulted Carn Dûm. I would have waited, because a defensive battle would be infinitely more favourable to us. Even if they brought 1,000 more men out in the plains, we would have had a far, far easier time. Our archers are being almost non-effective at the moment. But I wanted to show you all Carn Dûm. That is why we are here. We may well lose our general as well, but I mean, as you know by now, I just don't get attached to generals. And when I do get attached to generals, inevitably they die in the most annoying ways. So I try not to get attached to generals. All of you just push through. There we are. Why can't I come and stand over here? Oh, there you go. Look at that. They're just going to do it. Nice. No, throw stones. Throw stones. Oh, we got people running away. Woodman warriors have routed. Our cavalry's fighting someone, and he's getting decimated. Oh, well, they won. Nice. Good job, lads. Right, we're going to need more troops up the middle, so we're just going to rush everyone up. Ah, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to take you, you, and you. You're going to run up the middle. Archers, you're going to take that battering ram. And you're going to bring it over here. And the rest of you are going to come around this way. Bring the ram. Nice. Go to there, and then break down that gate for me. The archers have all arrived at the top. I expect Britta is almost certainly going to die. He certainly is. Interesting that I can't seem to find... Oh, is he running away? Or did he just die? Oh, he died. Oh, he died ages ago. Oh, right, he died ages ago. That's all right, then. Come on, we need to flank them. All those witch knights are going to just take us all out.
It'll not be long before our enemy's defenses fall.
Get ready, boys. That's our timer. Oh, we're almost out.
Victory will be ours.
Up that hill. Go, 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 go. Flood them. Oh, they are massacring our archers. Only in our hopes here of getting up behind them are we going to be able to do anything.
Only half our force remains.
Yeah, we got this. We got this. Come on, boys.
Very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Everyone who's still fighting, charge into that central area. 97% of the enemy has died.
In command of the castle.
We've taken command of the castle, but those witch knights just smashing us. We've got so many units routing. There's a real risk we're going to rout and lose this. I think we probably are. So many people are backing off and running away. Ah, but no. Look, we're down to just the witch knights now, and there's only a few of them. There's 18 of them. They're not going to win this battle. Also, because that timer is not the end timer, because there's just a slither of blue still available there. So that is the square, the timer for the square. And this is just a clear indication of how easy it is to defend settlements with the battle timer on. But the battle timer is imperative. If you turn off the battle timer, not when you're attacking, it's not as important. But when you're defending, you need the battle timer, because sometimes the AI just will not attack you. And without a battle timer, you've got to quit the game and hope your last save was nearby.
It could have been
yes!
that was slain and defeated on the field, but fate has been kind and delivered us victory.
246 Sons of the Fallen. Get them a place of honour, because they've almost single-handedly won today. And the sellswords in close second, doing incredibly well between the two of them. Well done. Well done indeed. 164 AFA cavalry. That's bizarre. I didn't even charge them in. I don't even know who they fought. But nevertheless, Carn Dûm has fallen, and we've got a reinforcing army coming through Fastred's Peak as we speak. But with Carn Dûm, with Litash, with Mount Graham down, Angmar are going to capitulate. Whoever is attacking their western borders is now going to flood through. So, this is the final nail in Angmar's coffin. The lid is on, the nails are all in, the last one's gone in, and it is now up to Ered Luin and the Northern Dunedain to simply move the coffin into place. We have done what needed to be done. And we probably just got a shed load of money for destroying that as well. Sadly, Angmar do not have the Northman culture, because, mostly for balance reasons, to make sure they have Melkor's Shadow. If they had Northmen, then Bree and the Anduin would be able to instantly train troops the minute you capture their regions. So it works better that they have Melkor's Shadow. Our faction leader moves once again. So it was... that gentleman, Britta. Where are you, Britta? You've just died. I don't know. I do not know. I can't see him. There's Gleerwine. Brermod, the Conqueror of Carn Dûm, is now the faction heir. I don't know if he's Gleerwine's actual son or if he is an adopted. Ah, of course. And there he is, Lord Britta, a former faction leader. But it is Lord Brolarn who is now our faction leader, who is... the adopted son of Alaric. Oh, so that's a real shame. That's a real shame indeed. So where Britta was an actual blood child of Grimbeorn, Alaric was adopted, as was Lord Brellan. So the family, the bloodline for the Anduin is all but spent. Is not all but spent. It is spent. There are no more. Lord Britta was the last. Get these towers set up. See what we can see. Elfhelm is keeping Wuskfreyja away from us. Grimhair is going to get that in 2 turns. And Triowine is going to head out and take the Rudau lowlands, which is Nochvarochlor, I believe the region's called. Lord Brellan, there we are. Carn Dûm, resistance is futile. I would name it after Britta, but I don't feel like Britta's really done anything, to be honest. The Sons of the Fallen did far better. So instead, we're going to call it the Burned Citadel in honour of the burned dwarves at the Battle of Azanulbizar. Or Nandu Hirian in the Elvish. I think that's a cool name. And I think that's a good reason to give a citadel a name. And I think at 46 minutes and 6 seconds long, that is going to be where we end today's episode. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. As I say, we're definitely on the road to the end of this campaign, but we will have to step in and actually kill Dol Guldur. We cannot rely on Dorwinion and the elves, because if memory serves, I think Rune are actually doing really well this time. And we can't risk that they will keep Dol Guldur alive by attacking Dorwinion at the right time. We also, once Angmar is dealt with, an army must be mustered to head down and take Khazad Dûm west. Once that falls, similarly to what we've just done to Angmar, other nations will then defeat the Misty Mountains, I have no doubt. But it is on us to take Khazad Dûm west. And if it falls to the dwarves of Khazad Dûm, we'll have to simply buy it from them, because we're getting to the point where money... We were at the point where money's not an object a long time ago, but it's becoming ever more apparent. But let's get another mountain keep and some roads up in Fenom. Oh, you can get a port as well. Nice. We'll take a woodman camp once you're at the time. Just queue up all your buildings. What the hell? Let's just go through. The video's already fairly lengthy. What does it matter making it a touch longer? Danes Halls. Let's go woodman up here. Carpenter's Guild House, and then just queue it all up. I'm not actually bothered about that because we're not going to be attacked here. Those woodman warriors. Did I just link a woodman camp? Yeah, you'll be able to be retrained here in time. That's good. So that's Danes Halls. Bjorn's Halls is building as well. I'll take a leather worker and whatnot. Get you set up for later tiers. Oh, an herbalist. Why not? Amunlank is getting the Bjorning camp, the catapult maker. Advanced blacksmith is definitely a good shout. Might as well chuck in communal farming. Can't hurt, can it? Roskabel. So we're getting Bjorning in there. Let's get Eotheod in Roskabel once the time comes. You've got a few buildings ahead of you yet. Leodolt. Again, try and get economy in places like this, I think. Rather than military. It's not going to be a... Same with Enedauer. It's not going to be a particularly... Oh, move that one up. Get that after the roads, yeah. Ostingal, you can get 2 of those. And a smoking house. Smoking house gives a minor income, but not very much. It takes a long time to pay itself back, but it's worthwhile having an income. Brownboat has every building built, courtesy of the elves. The Burned Citadel, we're going to get standing stones. No, we're not. We're going to build that first. It's going to be ages until it's our culture. So let's get a militia garrison up first and then standing stones. Because it's definitely going to be attacked. Angmar's not going to let that one pass. Mount Graham has got defences now up as well with the militia garrison. So we'll get the second tier and then we'll get that. And then we'll go for that. Over to Morvatarth, you're getting the same. I don't think we need to bother with it. We've already got the militia garrison. And it's very unlikely Morvatarth will be attacked. So we'll get standing stones and then just try and give me economy, to be honest. Too worried about culture. You won't be training many troops. Fastred's Peak. Go for those. Mount Gleowine's already got a queue. You also can't do anything. Bjorn's Tomb. Framsberg. Mountain Keep is on the way. Go with those. Get me some mines. Oh, you haven't even got a carpenter's hut. Dear, dear. Let's move that in. Now, it doesn't affect the immediate building that follows it, but the benefits of the carpenter's hut then does affect the others in the queue. It's only the building after it that it won't affect. So we won't get a cheaper port, and it won't take a little bit less time to build. But I'm not overly concerned. It's easy just to queue everything up and not worry about it. So anyway, that is going to conclude episode number 23. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. And if you have any questions at all, please do post them in the comment section, and I'll get around to answering those that I can see. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navair Neden Penemad Melunin, and farewell.